He's like swinging a sword, swinging a sword, swinging a sword.
You're not that far off.
And hey, welcome back everyone to Popcorn and Beers, where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use the stuff that gets you drunk. So welcome in. I see another Fat Toad Brewery, which is the brewery in which you work in.
This is a Czech Pilsner. It's dry. It's very dry, baby.
Dry. Well, this is an import. It is Coors. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, Coors Light.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we will be rocking with today on the show. As you can see, for the first time in a long time, we are all in the same room, kind of.
Synergizing.
Synergizing. I hate that word. There's a long story as to why I hate that word that I could tell on a later episode. But Jordan, you were very ill. Very ill. How did that go for you as far as movies were concerned?
I actually slept so much and didn't watch all that much as you would think I did, but I definitely binged that Squid Games reality show.
Okay.
So we're waiting on that, the conclusion of that. But
I'd love to hear your thoughts on it when I start talking about it today, because I gave my review last week of the first 5, and now I got the second 4 because Netflix is getting kooky with how they're doing things.
So, but I missed last week's episode, sadly, and you guys covered my drunk classic, Mouse Hunt.
Yes, we did. How'd you feel about that? How'd you feel about how we covered that?
It sounded like you guys found the movie delightful. So,
delightful is a good word.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a pleasant movie. Got a little bit for everybody. I thought it was a good holiday movie.
But it doesn't have a strong female lead, and that just made Josh pissed.
Yes. It also was a juke move. Like, it's not really a holiday movie, but it's kind of a holiday movie.
It's holiday adjacent. What is it? It's cuspy, to quote Gorp.
It's cuspy. It's right on the cusp. It's cuspy, baby. Hashtag cuspy.
All right. Well, I take it that while you were ill, you watched a little bit of Netflix, which is where our butter on top was this week. We watched Family Switch, and I'm gonna let you review it really quick. And I just gotta ask, like, was Ed Helms ever actually funny? Because I honestly, I don't know. Maybe The Daily Show, but like he's not funny really on The Office, except for the scene where he punches the wall. That's the. I defy you to find a funnier scene in The Office than him punching the wall because his cell phone's in the ceiling.
Okay, but I like Andy, man. I'm a big fan of Andy.
All right, he does. Look at how crazy I am. Andy, sorry, Andy does baby voice. Like I don't like it.
Oh God. Okay, so he's just as cringe as he was funny, but he delivers when he's cringe. It's intentional cringe.
I don't know. Maybe I think he got carried in The Hangover too. I really do.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe The Daily Show. I can't take his writing chops away from him and what he was able to do with Jon Stewart, because that show was pretty phenomenal, and he was a part of it.
And he is kind of a masterful musician, but anyway.
Okay. All right,
he plays a lot of instruments really well.
Yeah, I mean, he plays piano, banjo, kazooie.
That's a joke that he would have made. Anyway.
That's why you don't like him. You're too similar.
You are him.
So, Jordan, we're taking away from your time, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, so what did you think of Family Switch, man?
It's not a good movie. It was rough to get through. Just very in your face, Gen Z, snooty,
snooty
Dang. Stuff going
on. Because it's all a bunch of like, you don't understand, Dad.
Yeah, and then just
we're so much more evolved than our parents.
I just a few observations from it. Is a CPAP machine a romance killer, even on Jennifer Gardner? The kid that plays the bully, he plays that same role. That poor kid is that big oafish ogre man-child.
Yeah,
in everything now. I guess poor guy. I feel bad for him. Like, oh man,
typecast.
this guy again. Some of the cuts in the editing were just really bad. The baby and the dog switching
the CGI
places.
dog was cringe. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was so unnecessary, and that totally just took me. I was like, okay, I'm pretty done with this movie. But then the Rolf character,
the German character,
I love that guy.
He was the only funny part of the movie.
Yeah, he instantly. I was like, okay, this guy is going to be managing this situation. This made it tolerable.
Okay, I'll give you your privacy.
And just the mess ups with the family, how they're switching bodies and they're trying to go through each other's struggles, soccer match, big pitch meeting, whatever. I just feel like these mess ups that they're doing in each other's lives are just like unforgivable.
No, I'm with you, man.
I'm like, I couldn't just get over this thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Also, am I to believe that a teacher just blows, like, they don't take a Harvard interview for their kids seriously?
Yeah.
Like, you really want me to suspend belief that much? Like, he's a teacher. You think he doesn't know what Yale is? Like, he doesn't know how to act for Yale? Like, get out of here.
Yeah. I like when he flips the chair around. They're like, is this Flashdance?
Well, that actor, did you watch the outtakes? Did you stick around for the outtakes?
Yeah.
I like when he's like, he'll be a middle-of-the-road, middling actor. Basically an Ed Helms type.
Yeah.
That made me
that guy's yeah. But I give this movie a popcorn.
Popcorn.
Can I ask the time period the movie takes place? Is it a few days, couple weeks?
Time
span.
Like
few days,
like,
I think.
Like a few days, like a week, I want to say.
So
somewhere in there.
You're talking about multiple poops then.
Yeah, oh for sure. They saw each other's stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like their fecal matter, yeah, for sure. It was definitely some butts wiped. Because there's a scene where Jennifer Garner is lactose intolerant and her kid like eats ice cream in her body because she finds ice cream in the freezer. So there's a fart scene for sure. They went for the easy laugh a couple times.
They did Jennifer Garner farting?
Yeah. Big time.
Popcorn, dude.
Yeah, they didn't. Jennifer Garner was probably the redeeming quality in Ralph in this movie. Like they were probably the best aspects of the movie. The kids were intolerable, just intolerable. Even the best character was the girl that was so pretty, the teenager, but she wasn't a dick about how pretty she was. She was actually like pretty relatable character in the movie, and the actress played that character fairly well, actually. And I didn't mind that. But yeah, overall, and then there's no mention of the Camaro getting destroyed after the Camaro is destroyed. That was irritating. Lots of this is how you should raise your kids. Hey, this is what this is. The house on a teacher's salary was kind of crazy because that house was nuts.
Yeah, what year is this?
Nuts. It was all coming out of Jennifer Garner's like paycheck because she was like a marketing executive or an architect, right? An architect executive.
Oh yeah,
and at an architecture firm. There's just not a ton of redeeming qualities within this movie, to be honest. It actually made me more sad than happy as I was watching it. Because I was thinking, like, is this what B cinema has come to? With, like, 2 A-list stars. I think Ed Helms is A-list, right? Jennifer Garner's A-list.
He's there somewhere.
Yeah.
He's a wallflower on the A-list.
He's
cuspy. Yeah.
So I did put, can any of these Freaky Friday style movies happen in a universe where Freaky Friday has existed? And then right after I wrote that down, they actually poke fun at it. They poke fun at like Jennifer Garner, 13 going on 30, and Helms has a line where he's like, "No, this has literally never ever happened before in any discernible way." And I was like, okay, they're poking fun about it. I'm okay with that.
Like 21 Jump Street style.
All right, so it was Josh's week for the Drunk Classic. Just so everybody knows, it was a popcorn with one kernel unpopped for me for Family Switch. Yeah, just that hard seed in the popcorn bag that no one wants to eat. But as we continue, it was Josh's Drunk Classic week, but Jordan didn't get his chance to deliver on his Drunk Classic. So, Jordan, what did you think in your rewatch of Mouse Hunt?
I'm trying to figure out, like, in my notes what you guys didn't cover that I can kind of touch on. But yeah, just a great comfort movie. Love this movie. The score is fantastic. The way it's edited, it's weaved in with the hijinks.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon.
No hijinks are afoot, and the mouse, the doom, 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 that little score is just great. I love that. The gross cockroach scene, the just great. One of my favorite scenes though that always freaked me out as a kid was the vet when they pick up the Catzilla or whatever.
Again,
they're like in space suits again. Yeah. Just I love that movie. It brings me back to good childhood memories. So I'm gonna give it a popcorn in 1.
Do we ever see the full Catzilla, or is he always in the crate?
He gets
I can't remember.
Tossed out of the house in the crate or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's just his legs, and you see his face a little bit, but that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Josh, what do you rate it? Sorry.
You said pop in 1.
Pop in 1, yeah.
Pop in 1. Josh, Logan Lucky time. Are you feeling lucky, Logan?
I called this a classic. It's not something I've watched a bunch over and over, like most of my movies that I've nominated, but I had watched it once before, and I remember not knowing what was going to happen at all, and then I absolutely loved it. Like, I didn't expect it to be that good, and to have that many stars in it. Like,
lots of stars.
A lot of big names in this movie. I mean, I loved that. Did you just say cauliflower to me? I loved how
well, car's on fire.
Yeah. After they just did some dirt, just no communication. Let's do this. I love that when they start the fight and the other brother's like, all right, well, here we go. I'm gonna torch his car. No, it was wonderful. And on that note, I just I love the characters. That's the main part of this movie. Is this is every actor gets a great character to play, down to the side characters. And they have a great time doing it, and they have great dialogue. So I put this akin to like a Coen Brothers film, or maybe a Tarantino, just in the fact that every character's really well thought out. And then we have a plot, and the plot was good too. The motivations were good. The ending was good, except for the very last part where it's like, maybe they didn't. This is the movie named it what it should have been called, which is Ocean's 7-Eleven. Towards the end of the movie, I thought that that's what the movie should have been called, but of course they can't do that. So Logan Lucky, But Adam Driver was probably my favorite character, but Benoit, no. James Bond, no. Daniel Craig,
yeah.
He had a solid accent, and I loved his character too. It's like when a movie has a character that steals the show, they all steal the show. So that's my takeaway. I give this movie a popcorn in 2 still. It's a classic for sure.
Okay, all right.
Oh, and lastly, I just want to say, it's a heist movie, guys. So that's cool, and the plan is really well thought out. But there's so many aspects that that had to go perfect, and you didn't plan that. It just went perfectly. So good for you. But yeah.
Well, if you can't spoil it, how do they find the money? Anyway, Jordan.
Yes. I give it a popcorn in 1. I've seen this movie once before. I thought Channing Tatum and Adam Driver have really good, chemistry as the brothers. They made that work really well.
Yep.
The dialogue is funny, even in some of the times where it's not trying to be funny. It's still just some of the things in the delivery is hilarious. Great characters, great cast, all of that. Popcorn in 1. I like this movie.
We got from The Office, Roy from The Office, playing a funny character in the movie.
Playing basically his character from The Office, kind of.
Now, I had it as actually pretty accurate. Especially after he gets married to the girl at the very end of the Office, and he owns a gravel company and stuff. He's rich. But to be frank, I'm just gonna be really honest with the audience, okay? This movie's kind of boring. It is a heist movie, but if you're not into it, it's kind of boring. Like, you got to be in the mood for Logan Lucky. If you're not in the mood for Logan Lucky, it's boring. Like, it's a lot of dialogue,
There's a little bit of a buy-in with it. You
gotta be ready. It's not Inside Man. It's not Usual Suspects. It is its own film, and it's dialogue-y for a heist movie. There is a lot of dialogue, and you don't get to be in on a lot of the planning. And the only reason I gave it a pop 1 was because the plan was so good at the end, and I was like, okay, that was pretty. At first, I was like, formulaic. Here we go. Everything goes to plan.
Yeah,
You know? And then
everything goes like really close to plan.
Yeah.
But
Even like
I
Dwight
didn't know the
Yoakam.
plan. Well, what I'm saying is, I didn't know the plan. I thought I knew the plan, and then come to find out, I didn't know the plan. I knew he didn't turn in the money. Like, I knew that. All right, I wasn't that naive. But like, I did think he was gonna screw over Daniel Craig, and I thought that would be funny. I love that they paid out the guy that Daniel Craig gets to do the prison riot at the end.
Oh,
I thought.
What about that Game of Thrones scene? That was awesome.
That's BS. We got people that transferred in that have already seen it.
Yeah.
And how he sticks it to the FBI, the warden. Like how he refused because he doesn't want to be seen as someone that let his prison go.
Yeah.
So he just sticks it to the warden. There were some funny things, but there's a lot of stuff that's drawn out, and I was like super uncomfortable. But I think I was supposed to be uncomfortable with the beauty pageant and Katie Holmes.
Yeah. Katie Holmes.
Yeah, I think I'm supposed to feel that way, and it worked. I was uncomfortable. I did not like it at all.
There's like Little Miss Sunshine
heist.
in that way, right?
Yeah. The Hillbilly Heist was funny. They're calling this the Hillbilly Heist, which I think is a real thing. I think that really happened. I think there is something called the Hillbilly Heist. So they stole that from real life, which oftentimes art imitates life, right? Adam Driver, I agree. Best part of the movie. And he doesn't say a lot, but it's his physical manners, his timing, his physical gestures, his timing, his facial control, right? When his hand gets sucked up, when his hand gets, and he just stares for like a solid 30 seconds. He just stares, and then he goes for it.
I love he's so that's the word. He's so controlled. It's like every word he reconsiders before he says it. And he's like real quiet, but when he makes a move, it's direct and it's pragmatic. Just like when he's loading up Molotov cocktails just on the spot while he's walking with his one arm, and then he
Okay, so I gave it a pop 1. If you're not ready for it, you will be bored. I just want the audience to know, you got to be ready to watch this movie. Otherwise, it's so
why were you not? How were you not ready? You just weren't expecting it. You had different aspirations, or
I thought it would be more fun. It wasn't fun. It was.
Now that I think about it, I think the first time I tried to watch this movie, I think 15 minutes in, I was like, ugh, and I bailed. And then I came back and I caught a little bit past where I had originally seen, and I got sucked into it. It was just on TV, and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, this is all right.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I was into it after a while. Once I realized, okay, you got to think.
Yeah.
You're gonna Ocean's 11 me.
Sure.
Yeah, you're gonna Ocean's 11 me. I gotta think about this. I gotta be paying attention so I know what's going on, and I could see the art that's taking place. His sister did a fantastic job. I don't know the actress that was playing the sister. Do you guys have the actress that was playing the sister?
No, I thought it was Amy Adams, but I was way off, of course.
Definitely not Amy Adams.
Riley Keough.
She was great. I thought she was one of the better characters in the movie.
She was good, legit.
How she cons Roy. I don't know what Roy's name was, but the Roy character into driving the stick shift because it's the faster model car.
That's a long con.
That one was good. That one. That's why again, once I caught on to everything that was going on, I was like, okay, pop 1. This is creative. They're very creative. But yeah, pop 1 for me. Now, Jordan, you said, well, you were up in bed sick that you didn't get to watch a lot, but did you watch some stuff?
Yeah, well, I mean, before I got sick, I went to the movies and I saw Napoleon with Joaquin.
You didn't go see it while sick and just sneeze on everyone?
Nah. It's post-COVID world. That's very poor. Very unethical.
Poor etiquette.
Yeah. Napoleon, Joaquin Phoenix. It's just Joaquin Phoenix playing Joaquin Phoenix. I feel like this is just
with a funny hat.
Yeah, it's just his walking around kind of demeanor, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a really brutal scene where a horse gets just obliterated by a cannonball, just straight to the chest, and it's very graphic. and he kind of it's like the opening battle scene, and it's funny because he kind of
It's
like
funny.
no, the scene is funny because it happens, and he kind of just like gets up and like I don't know if he's supposed to be like shell shocked about what's happening, but it comes off as he just kind of Mr. Magoo's his way through the battlefield.
Gotcha.
Like he's Weekend at Bernie's. Like two people are carrying him, and he's just kind of like I don't know how to describe it, like Jack Sparrow or something.
Jack Sparrow.
He's just so just weirdly laid back. I want to say he played this role good, but I feel like for as complex a role as it was, he didn't do
You
that
mean to
much.
tell me he wasn't convincingly 20-something years old?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
There's just it's less a war movie and more like about his weird, screwed up, romance with his wife. She is terrible. They're both terrible people. They're abusive, and they focus on that way too long. But it makes sense because let's be honest, war back then was not that interesting. People lined up in rows and walked towards each other in straight lines and fired one shot, and just it doesn't play well on TV. There's one very good, entertaining war battle scene throughout the whole movie. The rest of it, meh. Talks about how he has a small package. He likes, yeah. I mean,
oh goodness.
and he likes a certain position that he does a lot with his wife throughout the
Donkey
movie.
style.
Yeah, it's a trend. It happens a lot in the movie.
Happens a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
It's a very
Just a
beautiful
quick cut
movie.
back to that, and then back to the battle.
He's like swinging a sword. Swinging a sword. Swinging a sword.
You're not that far off, I'll say that.
Oh God,
It's
we're the experts, gentlemen.
It's a very beautiful movie. The scenery is awesome. The the locations and all that. France, Russia.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful artistically. There's many memorable but just super inconsequential scenes. They took a lot of liberty with the historical accuracy to make some of these things. Like a lot of the most interesting, memorable scenes didn't really happen in real life. So
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna give this movie a popcorn in 1.
Popping one.
Yeah.
All right. I got to see it still, but thank you for enlightening. I'm going to go into it with very low expectations now.
Yeah, as you should. So yeah, next I finished watching the Goosebumps series on Disney Plus. A while ago when this was coming out, I tweeted out they need to stick with the original song. It was so iconic, that catchy. Yeah, it was a jam. But the intro is so uncreative, and you have this fun, iconic brand. Yeah, you have this cool, iconic brand, and with the even it kind of there's a text, what's like a font that you think of when you think of Goosebumps. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's so boring and bland. You'd think Elon Musk made it.
That's a good joke.
Yeah, I tried that. It's very apparent that they could care less for your nostalgia watching this. It's all it's made for Gen Z and selling brand new fully loaded Jeep Rubicons, apparently. major in your face plug. Yeah, just super slap you in the face a plug for the Jeep Rubicon.
Oh, goodness.
There's this very mature themes throughout this. It's like it's hard to tell who the audience for this actually was intended to be. The effects are awful. It's just a pure engagement grab. Popcorn.
Anybody die?
Yeah, actually yes, and
Good.
it's pretty brutal. So
all right, and last but not least,
I watched The Burial on Amazon Prime.
Oh, last but not least, I missed one.
Sorry.
My bad, everyone. That's on me.
I watched The Burial on Amazon Prime. Jamie Foxx, Tommy Lee Jones. It's a court procedural.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie Foxx is great as a character, Willie Gary. He says his name a lot in third person. This is not a Willie Gary case, so Willie Gary is not interested in Willie Gary.
So Johnny Cochran.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Johnny
And
Cochran, for sure.
that's where in the movie he mentions he kind of models himself after. It's a true story.
Okay.
It has one of those cliche scenes where both of the lead counsels, they end up in the same bar and they sit down and they have this verbal joust and
Heat.
I'm gonna
Just like Heat.
we're cordial for tonight, but tomorrow we're gonna be at each other's throats. It's like, come up with a new trope.
You want a quick hand job before we get started?
So did somebody at the bar turn around and go, "Why don't you two just bleep and get it over with?" And spin back around to their drink.
And then it cuts to that.
Sword.
Oh, I lost the thing.
Great acting, though. It's a little slow, but
Okay.
it's entertaining for a court procedural. I give this a popcorn and 2, actually.
Pop and 2. Okay, so it was good. All right.
And last but not least, Leo on Netflix, the animated Adam Sandler movie where he's an iguana, a class pet iguana. Good music, very original, clever, new agey, but there's stuff for older, the older group. I found stuff in it funny for me, a lot of adult innuendo in there. I'm going to give this a popcorn and 2. One of my favorite things about this is how they animated kindergartners. How they're just like these little
eyeballs.
Yeah.
They're eyeballs on heads.
They're like these little creatures. They're like little dust mites is what they kind of look like to me. They're just it's hilarious. Laugh every time they came on.
So I saw it as well. I agree with you. And then the substitute gets to teach the kindergarten class. Spoiler alert. Sorry. But for me, it was a popcorn. It was a lot. It was basically 8 Crazy Nights with a turtle and a lizard.
Yeah.
And Bill Burr was fine. I don't know what's going on with him. He's collecting paychecks at this point, I guess.
You know what
because
I think?
I listened to some of his old stuff, and I'm like, okay, he's cashing in, and good for him. I'm not knocking it at all. Good for him. Cash in on your fame while you can. Kevin Hart did it. Like, you got to do it because you don't know how long your window is open for.
Yeah, look at Louis. Louis called it himself. He's like, I won't be here in 2 years. Like, you have a little wave. You got to ride the wave as hard as you can.
Yep, do it. Dane Cook did it, and he was out. Just get your wave and go. That sounded like a song. That was very sing-songy. But yeah, the kids were kind of annoying, I guess. I don't know, man. It's hard. I guess I can't relate to what these kids are going through because what I went through was totally different, and I just don't get it.
Empathy.
Not for them because they're it's hard to empathize with assholes. And like, I'm sorry. I'm like, is every kid today an asshole? Because that's all I think every time these movies play. I'm like, God, like, no respect. Think they're smarter than they are. They're assholes. And I'm supposed to have empathy for. I can't relate to that because I lived my life being taught, hey, don't be an asshole. They're just allowed.
Parents are assholes too, though.
Yeah, that's true too. It was okay. It was fine. It made me laugh a couple times, like when he gets dropped off in the Everglades. That was pretty funny. Yeah. Come on, man, you're creeping everybody out. That was pretty funny. When he tries to pick up on a younger woman, that was pretty funny too. But overall, it's Adam Sandler doing Adam Sandler things. It's 8 Crazy Nights, just different. I gave Leo a pop. Next, I watched the 4 posthumous episodes, I guess, of Squid Game's reality, and it's just bad. I mean, Jordan, are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I thought it was great. Some of the elements they added that didn't really translate to real reality. Real reality.
Real reality.
It is just real reality with paintballs. What elements did they add?
Well,
it's the challenge on MTV.
Some of the elements like the in-between challenges and look, the characters are insufferable and it comes off super fake. It comes off super fake, like they're just putting on these personas.
Yeah.
Like
I love one of the characters just lies and then is seen as like this wholesome character. And this character, like everybody likes his character, trusts his character, and this person is a liar. And they just lie and lie and lie. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Hey, 4.46 million might do that to you.
Yeah. Well, the one I couldn't stand is I think it's 287 because of the bridge. Did you get to the glass bridge yet?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. We won't talk about it. Overall, still a popcorn for me. Skip it unless you have to make it all the way to the end. Last but not least, I watched Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain with Conan O'Brien, and it's bad. It's like a terrible version of Without a Paddle. Like, there's a lot of elements of Without a Paddle, and I actually like Without a Paddle, and I'm aware it's not a good movie, but I like that movie. It makes me smile. With Matthew Lillard,
Paddle.
Seth. You liked it too, Seth
I like
Green.
Paddle.
Yeah, what's Kirsten's husband's name?
Zach
Shepard.
Yeah. Dak what?
Dax Shepard?
Yeah, Dak Shepard, yeah. He's in it. That was funny to me. This was just so unfunny. Like, and it's a lot of stuff you've seen 1,000 times. The throat punch bit, they one tries to betray the other, gets caught bit. It's just not funny. I didn't laugh during it, except for have you ever had somebody that takes a bad joke and you're aware it's a bad joke, but they keep doing the bad joke so long that it becomes funny, that it's such a bad joke and they're still doing it?
What's that joke?
It was he'd blow into a bird call and it would be like he'd blow into a bird call instead of a bird call. It'd be like, it'd be like a man screaming. And like at first I was like, that's stupid. That's so dumb. And then like by like the 5th time I was like, stop it. And like it started to make me laugh. Like it wore me down because they did it so much.
That's good.
And then like there's a really poorly CGI'd falcon that made me laugh. But that was it. And that's the same scene. So I don't want to spoil it. Overall, it's a popcorn. It was not good. It's a Peacock original. If you want to watch a terrible comedy, go check that one out. Josh,
it's just an SNL short that went on way too long, right?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
It stole elements of every other movie that's ever existed. Josh, what were you watching?
Oh, I didn't have a lot this week. I think I just watched a couple of them. Firstly, we're doing Halloween, so we had those Halloweens where you have the movies you have to watch, right? That doesn't really apply to my Christmas experience every year. There's a rotation, Santa Claus and then Charlie Brown maybe, but it's not like a loyalty every year I have to watch these movies. But I do pretty much always have to watch Love Actually. And that, I'm aware of how corny that sounds. And I'm aware that the movie may not have aged well for everybody, and it's kind of like cliche AF, almost.
Do you watch it with like your cheese platter and your wine?
I got my cheese platter. I got my Pinot Grigio, of course. I got a nice little cozy blanket. There's a fire going.
What is it? The lavender candle burning in the background to calm your nerves?
It's actually Holiday Blend.
Sorry. It's a PSL.
But you know what? I mean, I like this movie. I'm not sure if it started it, but it was definitely the big explosion of the trend that happened, which was like ensemble movies, such as perhaps, if you're stretching, like Smoking Aces, but also the New Year's Eve and the Valentine's Days, where it's like there's a bunch of different storylines happening. None of them can make their own movie, really, so they just intertwine them all into a plot where it's like lightly connected, like Crash. Remember Crash?
Yep.
Yeah. Not the same, different genres entirely, but it's an ensemble show. So the main character of this movie is Love, basically. And now I've already explained way too much because everyone knows about this movie. Whether you like it or not, I don't know. I find a lot of warmth from it. It's a wonderful romance for idiots, and I give it a popcorn too. Every year I watch
Jude Law, you nerd.
Jude Law's not even in it.
Wait, what?
Jude Law's not in Love Actually?
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Have you ever seen this movie?
Love Actually? Jude Law is not in Love Actually.
Am I thinking of The Holiday?
Yes.
It's
Jack Black. Which is also pretty good.
Go ahead, Josh. What was next?
I'm not telling anymore.
No, I don't want to.
No, I watched, for the first time, actually, I watched Night at the Museum Smithsonian edition. So that's part 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Night at the Museum is a pretty solid movie. You don't expect it to be as good as it is. It's pretty good. Night at the Museum 2, relatively the same thing. In a good way.
Relatively?
They repeat the plot device that they did last time. They just expand it, make it bigger. I don't know if they ever made a 3, did they?
Yeah, they did.
I can't believe they
Yeah,
did.
it's
Okay,
the
cool.
British Museum, Night at the Museum, British Museum.
Okay, so that's how you expand it. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it was fun. I give it a popcorn 1. It's a good movie. A lot of names were in it, and I'm going to go through this list right now. These are all people that are superheroes or superhero adjacent.
Mhm.
And here's how I said it every time. Oh, hey, Mr. Furious. Oh, hey, the genie from Aladdin. He counts. Oh, hey, Freddie Mercury. He counts too. The actor who played Freddie Mercury. Anyway. Oh, hey, Mobius from Loki. Oh, look, the Punisher. Oh, hey, Titan. That's Jonah Hill and Megamind. The Blue Raja. Holy crap, we're back to Mystery Men. Oh, look, Agnar the Screamer. That's Bill Hader and MODOK. Oh, hey, Lois Lane's here. And this is kind of a reach, but Hiccup as well from How to Train Your Dragon. These are all superhero. It's like people who've been in kind of superhero-y movies. They're all in this movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's the new Kevin Bacon 6 Degrees of Separation. How many superheroes are in this movie? That's the new theme. I'm doing that from now on. So far the record is 10.
Find the Paul Rudd.
So far the record is 10 for superheroes in a movie. I'm running that gag from now on.
Okay.
And one of my favorite lines is he's with Jonah Hill, Ben Stiller, Jonah Hill, and they're arguing about being a cool security guard. And then Ben Stiller does this cool judo move and locks him against the wall. And Ben Stiller says, "I've seen things you couldn't imagine." And Jonah Hill's like what kind of stuff? Popcorn 1, good movie.
Yeah. This is the United States of don't touch that thing over there.
Yeah.
All right, so a Poppin' 1. I haven't seen that one in a long time. So I guess we're on to my drunk classic. I hadn't seen Logan Lucky. That was another point for me. I think I'm still the lowest.
Oh, yeah.
I went back and I was looking at it. I was like, man, I've done some comedies. I've done some 80s, done some 90s, done some 2000s. I haven't done an action since, I think, Red Dawn. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I need to do an action, and I need to do a good action. And I don't care if you've seen it or not, because like I said, that's not why I do this. I just want the audience to discover these great movies.
Right.
All right? So I'm going to do the drunk classic of True Lies.
Woo.
True Lies.
Awesome.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Lee Curtis.
Yeah, it is a Bill Paxton, R.I.P. Bill Paxton. But it is a fun movie. I think it's a good movie. I think the audience will enjoy it and rewatch it. So, True Lies. What's that?
Oh, this doesn't Arnold sound.
Oh, baby. From the future.
But yeah, so I went with True Lies. I've got a couple Arnold movies on my drunk classics list, but True Lies, I wanted an action flick. I want a big, dumb. True Lies is fun, and so
it's a clever movie though. It's not like straight action like a Rambo, like what I've expected from you, kind of. True Lies is like there's some comedy element. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, so I'm in.
I think it's one of his better movies. I do. I think it's one of his better movies. So I had a feeling we'd all seen it before, but I was like, you know what? I want to watch True Lies. I think that a lot of people haven't seen True Lies in this generation, and it's one of our greatest action stars' best movies.
It really is. It's up there.
All right. So we've got our butter on top. I want to encourage everyone in the United States. I want to encourage everyone that listens to our show in the United States, go see Poor Things. It can't be our butter on top because it doesn't come out in the United Kingdom until January 12th. But please go see it.
It looks like a banger.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. A ton of my favorite actors of today's time are in it. So I'm very excited about it. I'm very upset that it can't be our drunk classic. And I'm very upset that I have to go watch an actor that I'm not a huge fan of. I respect him and what he's been able to do. But Timothée Chalamet in Wonka.
Chalamet is Wonka, brother. Chalamet is Wonka, dude.
The prequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is upon us with Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa. So prepare yourself for that. And please join us at the movies to see Wonka this weekend. As always, this has been Popcorn and Beers. Jordan, where can they reach us?
At Popcorn and Beer on X.
at Popcorn and Beer on X. I want to thank, what is it, Fat Toad Brewery, Josh?
Yeah.
For joining us, and Coors in Golden, Colorado. Thank you for letting us drink your beer for so many
Cheers.
years. As always, we will see you at the movies. You bring the popcorn, and we got the beer.